all three of you have experience, I think, mentoring within an organization and then mentoring entrepreneurs as well. So tell me, are entrepreneurs easier or harder to mentor than employees? Start with Ray.
I wouldn't say they're different necessarily. I think you have to go in with clarity on the expectations and an awareness of the, if you're a peer, if you're their boss, if you're in a different part of the org, that's going to impact the relationship. So having clarity over how you work with them is important if you're talking about employee mentorship. But I think you approach it with a very similar philosophy of active listening, trying to be non-directive, trying to provide value, trying to understand the outcomes, trying to give feedback that help them grow in the way that they benefit. I think for me, the people I enjoy mentoring are the ones who are really passionate and smart and creative. And frankly, those can be found as both in employees and entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs, if they're coming from within an entrepreneurial kind of organization, but they're employed within that. I mean, everyone is employed within some organization at the end of the day. So entrepreneurs, they're employees of their organizations too. And I find that the reason why I like them is because they're very challenging, because I learn more from people that are smart and passionate and creative, and they push back and they ask hard questions of me, and I learn from that. And that's ultimately why I find it so satisfying, is because that relationship, that dynamic, that tension is one that you should push for. You should push for people to ask you the hard questions. Don't seek mentors that are going to tell you you're great. You want ones that can actually poke holes and kind of expose the soft bits that are kind of uncomfortable sometimes, and that's where you learn and grow, if you can take that feedback with humility. And humility is a big part of receiving feedback. If you want to grow and learn, you have to recognize you're not perfect, and I'm not perfect, and I've learned that the hard way over years, that the more people I can talk to, the more I can learn, and mentees are a great group to learn from.
Dan, compare and contrast entrepreneurs and employees as mentees.
I think I would agree a lot with Ray in that I don't think that role differentiates, the way that you work with them. But I really agree, having someone that's strong enough that when you challenge their thought, they can defend it. You have an opinion for a reason. So if I challenge it, I want you to fight for it. I want you to believe in why you had that position, and I want there to be a good discussion. And at the end of the day, I want you to believe whether you went with my recommendation. For me, when I'm a mentor, it's not about you do it my way. This is your business or your role in your organization. What I want to know is that I've asked you tough questions so that you believe and you've fully thought through your position on that. And so that strength in being able to say, no, this is why I believe that, and being able to kind of push back and defend yourself, for me, that's great value in a mentee or a mentor, either way. Okay. That's great value, and you find that in either of those roles. I don't think it's role specific.
Kristina, compare entrepreneurs and employees as mentees.
Well, I think when an entrepreneur approaches me, they're very, very willing. And I think, and this is a generalization, but not every employee is willing to be mentored. So that would be what I would think is the biggest contrast between the two. And now I've had some amazing employees that actually didn't think they wanted to be mentored, but by the time our relationship was done, I got huge thank yous from them for teaching them things they never even thought they needed to learn. And to me is extremely satisfying, and I really feel like I had a positive impact on their professional growth or their personal life in some way. So I think, most of the things that you gentlemen have said, I totally agree with, but I think that sometimes there can be a little bit of difference in the willingness level.